Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Good evening, I'm Chelsea Turnbull and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. A new cell phone app is making an impact on students at St. Clair College. Manny Matthews has the story.
An app.
People aren't walking looking this way and that way at the walls. People are walking with their heads down, walking into people, looking at their cell phones.
Connecting students between campuses which seem like worlds away. The WeCam application called Student Campus was developed to help students like Daniel Nicholson.
I haven't even tried it yet, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes, for sure.
A networking alumni and first-year web designer who has had a hard time making friends in college.
Well, it was more at first just trying to get into a group of people, but it just really was me trying to say hello, and once I found a group of friends, and then it was pretty easy since then.
St. Clair College is a pilot platform for Student Campus to grow across schools all over the world.
This app was really built to provide students and alumni as we move down the road with the ability to communicate with each other using video and text to talk about what's going on at St. Clair College, what are the events, what are the employment opportunities.
As social media continues to be a popular way for students to communicate, Student Representative Council President Sarah Ryrie hopes to eliminate private pages and anonymous posters.
They're spotted on pages for you to leave anonymous comments, and I love seeing all the positive ones, but it breaks my heart to see the ones that aren't.
But like most things, the rules still apply.
If the rule in the class is that cell phones are turned off, then that's what happens.
Mandy Matthews, MediaPlex News Now.
Too many drones may seem like a fun toy, but others, including the government, take them a little more seriously. Sean Garrity joins us live.
Well, Chelsea, it's the 21st century and cars are not flying yet, but this machine can make you feel like we're not far off. This new piece of technology can deliver a pizza, drop a nuclear bomb, or just fly over the Ambassador Bridge. Say hello to the drone. Most come equipped with 4 propellers, a remote control, and a computerized viewfinder to see where you're flying. The drifting robots are gaining mass popularity in Windsor.
The angles that I do, you have to do it from an airplane, and the restrictions on an airplane are 1,500 feet, and you're not seeing the same product. So I take this, I fly it up, and I can bring it right to camera in real time or just in a matter of minutes.
That's real estate agent Paul Roulard. He uses his drone for videos of nature and landscapes. He said of recent, the machine has been a great advertising tool to sell houses.
We're building technology within the real estate realm. People are on their computers, they want to see more information right now. Everything's at their fingertips. More buyers are searching the computer rather than calling a realtor firsthand. So we're going to give that image to them immediately.
In the past, photographers piloted the high-flying robots, but it is now the future, and everybody wants to cruise the sky. But there are strict guidelines that must be followed. Transport Canada regulates all laws pertaining to unpiloted vehicles, and since planes and drones share the air, one of the laws states drones must keep at least a 9 kilometers distance from any airport. Phil Roberts, Director of Operations at Windsor International Airport, said he understands why drones must keep their distance.
So even though the drones aren't very big or very heavy, the difference with a drone that is hit by an aircraft is that the aircraft is moving at significant speed. And speed exaggerates the amount of energy that is then transmitted to the body of the drone and to the aircraft itself.
To stay out of harm's way, here's a map showing a 9-kilometer radius around Windsor International Airport of where you can and cannot fly. Do not fly higher than 90 meters. Do not fly over bridges, special aviation events, or airways. And never fly over controlled airspaces. Violators can receive fines for up to $15,000. So if you're going to fly a drone, the best advice is to make sure you know the rules and follow them. Chelsea?
All right, thanks, Sean. Now let's head down to the corner of University and Victoria, where Chelsea Leffler is standing by to give us a look at the weather. How's it going down there, Chelsea?
Thanks, Chelsea. Well, it's February, as you guys could probably tell with all the snow we've gotten these last couple of days. Unfortunately, we're going to get a little bit more of this white stuff though tonight. But the good news is it's only going to be a couple of centimeters. I'll be back a little while later on in the show to let you guys know what the rest of this week's forecast is going to look like. Back to you, Chelsea.
If you haven't been swabbed for a good cause, then maybe you should consider it. Lynette Tabor tells us more.
St. Clair College is promoting bone marrow donation by encouraging students to get swabbed. The goal of a bone marrow transplant is to cure many diseases and types of cancer. One goal of swabbing events is to add more young male donors to the network. Young men of diverse backgrounds between ages 17 and 35 are especially needed.
Research is showing that the results for the patient post-transplant tend to be better when their donor has been a young, strong, healthy male. Not that young women wouldn't be called, and we don't discourage them from joining the One Match network.
More than 329,000 Canadians are currently registered on the One Match network, yet nearly 900 patients continue to search for a matching stem cell donor.
When we first started out, we were getting maybe 8 applications a year from the Transplant Family Support Program. We're now up to about 30 a year. So there is a need, and most of the money and most of the families are from Windsor and Essex County.
Sarah Ryrie is the Student Representative Council President.
Last year we had one of the most successful years. We actually had over 311 students apply for the swab event. This year we're hoping to beat that. We're just trying to inform students as well as we can on what a swab event is, how it's done. It's just a quick, less than 10-minute thing to do.
If you're interested in becoming registered on the One Match network, visit onematch.ca/join. I'm Lynette Tabor reporting for MediaPlex News.
Walk for Memories is a province-wide event, and as Kenneth Bullock reports, it helps Alzheimer's keeps Alzheimer's on everyone's mind.
At the Devonshire Mall, people gathered for an event worth remembering. The Walk for Memories raises funds and raises awareness for those Ontarians suffering from Alzheimer's. Every year, the Alzheimer's Society broadens its focus on a specific theme. This year, the focus is on women.
This year, the theme is the 72%. And so the Alzheimer's Society across Canada is educating the public that fully 72% of people with Alzheimer's disease are women.
Working in conjunction with the Alzheimer's Society were other groups with the same shared goals in mind. Amy's Helping Hands have cognitive coaches available for people losing their memory.
We stimulate all areas and centers of the brain, not just the memory center. So a cognitive coach that's specially trained sits down with a patient that has dementia or another cognitive impairment and goes through a series of exercises that works all areas of the brain to help those brain synapses keep firing. And the idea, although it's a degenerative disease, is that we slow down the process of that disease.
A little exercise was arranged for comers wanting to see what having Alzheimer's was like. Participants donned glasses and oven mitts for ordinary tasks. Jason Laba said it was quite a difficult task.
The tasks themselves, going through the dementia challenge, is unbelievably difficult and exhausting. And it really brings awareness to the fact that people who are suffering from this disease need to have the services and the help in place in order to get through just daily, everyday routine.
Reporting for MediaPlex News, I'm Kenneth Bullock.
If you are looking for an interesting career opportunity, then you might want to check out the public relations program offered here at the MediaPlex.
Students in the public relations program here at St. Clair College have a unique opportunity. Not only do they come here to learn all of the skills they need to be public relations specialists, but they learn in a multi-medium MediaPlex. And it's so important to be in a facility like this, where they know that when they go out, they will be competitive in their field.
I decided to come to St. Clair College after university because I kind of feel like I needed a little bit more to kind of make myself marketable.
I am a hands-on learner. I'm a doer, so I learn best and I can retain information more when I'm actually out using the skills that I'm taught. An example of where this program does that well was our photography classes. So in class we were taught different elements of photography. We were taught the rule of thirds and leading lines and angle and perspective and Then we were actually sent out into downtown Windsor, into the streets, and we were told to capture photos containing those different elements and bring them back to class and present them. And that's something that you can't just learn in the classroom. You have to learn that by doing it. So we actually developed an eye for photography and for getting good shots, and I really don't think that that can be taught in the classroom.
Hands-on training means they'll be marketable, that they can hit the road running when they go into a company. And that's what's setting our public relations program apart. And it's also why employers are coming to St. Clair's public relations program looking for good employees.
Right now, I'm interning in corporate communications at Caesars Windsor. It's a really good place for an internship for a PR student because there are so many things that the casino does.
After graduation, I was offered a part-time position at Caesars Windsor. So I am now an external communications specialist at Caesars Windsor.
We give them a skill set that I believe will make them the most marketable of any public relations program.
Justin Trudeau was in town last week, and as Shelby Hernandez reports, the Liberals were in full election campaign mode.
Despite the federal election being 9 months away, Liberal leader Justin Trudeau isn't wasting any time in gaining support in Southern Ontario. Last Wednesday, the Liberals held a rally at the Chicharo Club in Windsor. There, Trudeau spoke to hundreds of mostly Liberal supporters about the issues facing Canadians and Windsorites. One of the issues he brought up was the Conservative government's delay in releasing the federal budget. He says the current government was forced to delay the budget because of the dropping oil prices.
On Wednesday last week, the finance minister said falling oil prices would have no impact on the budget. But then, the very next day, he said, oh, wait, yeah, they actually will. So much so, we're delaying our budget until sometime in April. These guys are making it up as they go along.
Trudeau also talked about Windsor's high unemployment rate, referencing a Leamington family who had to move to BC to find work. Currently, it is the Conservatives who hold most of the seats in Ontario, and yet, many Canadians still look at Justin the same way they looked at his father, as someone different from the norm. Giselle Girej is one of those Canadians who has a strong appreciation for Pierre Elliott Trudeau. She is excited that another Trudeau is stepping forward.
I think it's a long time coming. I'm so happy to see that a member of his family has stepped into the position, is ready to take over Canada. We've needed this for a long time. Our economy is not where it should be. As a young Canadian, I am more middle-aged now, but as a young Canadian, we need a focus. Our children need a focus. We need something to look forward to. We need future goals.
Marlene Floyd is the Director of Operations and Outreach. She plays a huge role in the planning of Trudeau's tours. Floyd says the crowds in Windsor and in London speak volumes about Canada's desire for change.
I think the turnout tonight says it, right? The last night we had over 600 people in London. We had over 350 here, despite a snowstorm. I think that really shows that the favor of the Liberal Party is changing, especially in southwestern Ontario.
In the end, Trudeau's message to Windsor was to keep knocking on doors and encourage Liberal votership in preparation for the upcoming federal election. The federal election is likely to be in October, as Stephen Harper is expected to run full term. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Shelby Hernandez.
Now it's time to head back to the corner of University and Victoria with Chelsea Leffler for more on the weather. How's it going down there, Chelsea?
Thanks, Chelsea. Did you know that in the Antarctic, the ice is more than 2.5 miles thick in some places? Well, it's not cold enough or deep enough in the Detroit River for that to happen here. Now let's take a look at our 3-day forecast. Tomorrow we can expect some scattered flurries with a high of -3 and a low of -9. Thursday, it will be mainly sunny with a high of -11 and a low of -19. And Friday, it'll be a high of -8 and a low of -19 once again. That's it for me at the corner of University and Victoria. Back to you, Chelsea.
Journalism graduate and our UK correspondent, Sean Preble, brings you the latest edition of British Beat.
Hello again from Gillingham in the United Kingdom. I'm Sean Preble. And for this edition of the British Beat, I decided to speak with people to find out what they consider their best and worst Valentine's Days they've had, what with the holiday coming up. So let's take a look at what people consider good or bad Valentine's Days. What is your best or worst Valentine's Day story?
My worst Valentine's Day story is when I was in a previous relationship, and it was my first proper celebration of Valentine's Day. And I went out and made a massive deal of it and bought lots of chocolates and presents and things. And then my boyfriend cancelled on me and said he'd made other plans with other people, and I took it really badly. And I sat in my room crying, eating the chocolate that I bought him. And it was a very depressing day.
I would say that for my wife Sarah and I, Valentine's is quite a special occasion. We don't tend to go too over the board, just have a nice meal or go and watch a film. This year we're going to go and watch a kind of movie marathon the night before, some kind of romantic films that we're both a fan of. So I can't think of any particularly terrible Valentines that we've ever had. But at the same time, you know, we don't go too overboard, you know, take a hot air balloon ride or anything like that. It tends to be quite low-key, just a nice meal and just a nice evening together.
I don't really celebrate Valentine's. Except for my boyfriend, we don't celebrate Valentine's at all. We just find that it's better to be spontaneous throughout the year and be able to show each other throughout the year how much we love each other, not just stick to a specific day. Feel basically that Valentine's is a consumerism day where basically you go out and waste lots of money buying flowers, chocolates, things like that. You should be able to show your love throughout the year.
My girlfriend, with whom I've been for 2 years now, hired a group of bards to come recite my favorite Shakespearean sonnet, that is Sonnet 116, to me, and they burst into the classroom when I was in the middle of class at the university, and I had this 10 guys kneel before me and recite the sonnet to me. That was pretty special.
That's all for this edition of the MediaPlex British Beat. I'm Sean Preble from Gillingham, Kent in the United Kingdom. Be sure to stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you then. But for now, back to the MediaPlex.
There are some new movies about to hit the theaters. Taylor Bush tells us more.
Hi, I'm Taylor Bush, and this is your Entertainment Minute. Looks like the Biebs is stirring up things again, but this time on purpose. According to Kent Alterman of Comedy Central, Justin Bieber has been asking the network to roast him for years, but he says they kept turning him down because he wasn't acting out enough. Well, I guess Bieber finally showed them because they just announced he's scheduled to be the main target of their next roast special. Sources say they have not yet picked a host for the special or set a date for it to air. Let's hope Justin manages to stay out of jail long enough to appear in it. Speaking of not setting a date, looks like Modern Family's Sofia Vergara is engaged again with no immediate plans to wed. Fellow actor Joe Manganiello is the second man to propose to her in the past 12 months and says he hopes to be the last. Best of luck to them. In the meantime, check out these films which are set to hit screens soon. Project Almanac and Jupiter Ascending promise great visuals for sci-fi and fantasy fans of all ages. For fans of action and adventure, Seventh Son and Kingsman: The Secret Service will keep things interesting long into February. And with Valentine's Day right around the corner, couples are gearing up for the release of the much-anticipated and controversial 50 Shades of Grey. Take a look.
My tastes are very singular. You wouldn't understand.
Enlighten me then.
The film will hit theaters February 13th. Seems a bit premature if you ask me. Thanks for watching. I'm Taylor Bush, and this has been your Entertainment Minute.
Tony Gray is a local artist who is quietly making a name for himself. Chris Mayu tells us more.
I started getting involved in comics like really early. I was probably like a 3 or 4 year old kid, and I started reading like the Casper comics and Sad Sack and Richie Rich, these kind of comic books. But just one day out of nowhere, I was probably 4 or 5 years old. I was sitting in front of the TV watching Disney, and I drew this head of Donald Duck and said, wow, this thing looks just like Donald Duck. Again, in retrospect, if I looked at it now, it probably doesn't look anything like Donald Duck, but it was enough where people around me were like, hey, that's Donald Duck. So as a 4-year-old kid, that was pretty impressive. So, you know, looking for attention, because even at that age, you know, I wanted attention. I wanted to be the center of the spotlight, right? So I just kept drawing and drawing, and eventually I just got better and better. And to this day, you know, you never stop getting better. Like right from the earliest age, I developed a fascination with Spider-Man and John Romita's artwork that still, you know, is with me to this day, 11 years later. So. You know, you aspire to be these heroes. As it's turned out, you know, I've pretty much developed into someone with no morals, integrities, or any values whatsoever. I just draw comics and take money from everybody. So, you know, I guess, you know, you try to be a good person all the time. And when I go to cons, it's a lot of fun. I meet all kinds of young people, and you try to be a good role model. But, you know, technically, I guess if you look behind the scenes, I'm probably not the best role model. I think fan to me is so, so egotistical. It's like I don't really even consider I have fans. Like I have people who enjoy my work, and I enjoy the fact that they enjoy the comics that I'm producing, because otherwise there's no value in it for me. There is no comic book that comes out with my name on unless people buy them. So. If anything, I'm fans of the people who are buying my book, so I don't have to eat Kraft dinner all the time and live in a fridge box on, you know, in an alleyway drinking Aqua Velva or something. My process is so old school. I truly go back to the format that was established back in the 1940s when comics were put together. You know, there are some additional technologies that go into the work just inevitably to get the stuff printed now. But I still take the boards, the 11 by 17 boards or larger, and I sit down with my pencil and I start drawing it out in pencil. Like I know most of my buddies like Jay Fablock and Yannick Paquette, and I know it's like a good friend Dave Finch. He went to Cintiq, so they're all doing this stuff digitally now. I know Dave has gone back to actually hand drawing again. I think, yeah, I'm not going to speak for him, but for myself, I don't think the technology is quite there. And to me, there's not that tactile quality of being able to just say, there's my page right here. So I don't know what it is, just maybe a sense of nostalgia, but it's really just the way that I work and I'm comfortable working. I'm living like a 17-year-old kid. I'm playing music, I'm drawing comics, I'm traveling and touring around meeting people who are so interested that they actually come to stand at my table and get me to sign pieces of work that I've done, that I'm thrilled that they're there, and I'm thrilled to meet them. So like I can't imagine being in a better situation. And beyond that, it's all my stuff. I'm working on my own stuff. It's not even like I'm working on someone else's characters and getting frustrated that it's like, wow, I don't have control, I can't do this. It's like, I can't even imagine a better situation right now, unless, you know, I was making 5 times the money to do it, which maybe will be coming, who knows.
A young local athlete is gaining national attention. Sean Garrity has the story.
I'm TJ Laramie. I'm 17 years old, fighting out of MTC in Windsor, Ontario. Fighting to me is a place where I feel like I can control everything that goes on around me. I feel safe and truly at peace in the ring. Really during a fight, like I never show emotions really too much during a fight, because emotions will get the better of your technique and like everything else. You're angry, you get a lot more like tired. Really, like, I'm pretty blank-minded when I'm in there. I'm just, it's a lot of reaction. You know, I'm listening to my corner, see any tips they got, like, while I'm fighting. If they say, like, oh, throw a right hand, or he's open for this, you know. I'm listening to that kind of stuff, but other than that, I'm pretty deaf, you know. And my mind's, like, just a white chalkboard. I'm almost never more tired than the other guy, you know what I mean? So I know I'm in control of the fight from the beginning to the end. I know I'm in control. I'm winning every way possible. I've never really been in a situation where I've been like down and I have to come back really. Usually I know how to pace myself throughout a match, so I'm not really ever tired. But if that situation ever occurred where I was beat and tired in the 4th round, all I'm thinking about is 2 more rounds to go, you know? Just take it round by round, just try to win every round. You're at that point where you want to give up and you have to go farther. That's the difference between an average athlete and a great athlete. 5 years, hopefully I'll be holding a UFC belt somewhere.
Feature here at the MediaPlex. It's called Style File with Ashley Ann Mentley and Alana Willis. Take a look.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today on the Style File. I'm Alana Willis.
And I'm Ashley Ann Mentley.
Week by week, we're going to bring the runway to you. We've got the latest beauty trends, the newest makeup tips, and the best and worst of the red carpet.
I'm Ashley Ann, and I like a really feminine style. I wear a lot of pink lipstick and a lot of skirts and dresses. I hardly own any pants, to be honest. My style icons are TV's Stacey London, and even though it's not on air anymore, Gossip Girl's Blair Waldorf. I love both of these women because their styles are not only timeless, but very classy. I also like getting a lot of inspiration from the 1950s with a nice full A-line skirt like this one.
So I'm Alana Wills. I like blending and mixing different kinds of styles, like a real casual street style, jeans and a t-shirt, mixed with a more glamorous element like a statement necklace or a great pump. I'm totally obsessed with Rihanna's fashion. I think she's a total fashion chameleon. She's always switching it up. I try and pull it off as well as her. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but what can you do? Just like Ashley, I like to get inspiration from the different decades. We saw the 1990s trend was really big this past year. I love that. Also love anything from the 1970s.
We'll also be showing you our beauty essentials. My #1 cannot live without it product is my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This stuff is amazing. Not only does it make your skin look absolutely flawless, but it lasts for up to 15 hours. Whether it's the Double Wear Foundation, the eyeliner, or the concealer, they all have that. So whether you've got a long day of work or you're headed out for dinner and drinks right after, you can wear this and be sure that your makeup will still look perfect.
And I can't go without my Lasting Touch lipstick by Kate Moss for Rimmel. It's got a great matte finish to it. I'm wearing shade 104 right now. It lasts all day, all kind of fun colors, and the best part is it retails for only $6.99.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next time and bringing you all the latest fashion trends. We're going to introduce you to 2015's Color of the Year. It's called Marsala, and we'll show you all the fabulous ways that you can wear it.
Thanks, guys. Stay styling.
Come one, come all. St. Clair College will be hosting its Spring Open House on March 27th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Potential students and parents will be able to meet with faculty and learn about the programs offered by the college. We hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chelsea Turnbull, and this has been MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.